you were sharing a little bit the last couple of days of how personal this became for you and Nancy, your wife of many years, as she was in her last months in earth the way it is now. Mm. Tell us about how this was a blessing to you as a couple.
Well, my wife Nancy went home to be with Jesus a year and a half ago. I still miss her every day. I miss everything about her, but I think more than anything else, I miss her laughter. I miss her enthusiasm. She's a fan of dogs and a fan of football and NFL. So, man, she'd be at that Bengals-Bills game with me today if she was here. I mean, because we would be there, and she would be so excited about it. And but her level of excitement and all that, well, I miss her, but I am acutely aware of the fact that this is a temporary separation. It's as if she moved to another part of the world back in a time where there was not easy communication and no email and no airplanes and no, or whatever. But I know that she's alive, but somewhere else where I can't see her and I can't talk with her. And that's the way it is. She has relocated. She has not ceased to exist. She has relocated to another place, and there's going to be a reunion. And one of the really exciting things for us as she was dying was to talk about just knowing that we'd be together in heaven, but she's in the present heaven. And when I die, I'll go to the present heaven. And but that's pre-resurrection. But together we will be resurrected. The timing of her resurrection and mine, even if the Lord returns before then, will be the same. Or once I'm with her, then we will await the resurrection. And God's people do await the resurrection because 1 Corinthians 15 says, if the dead are not raised, we are of all people most to be pitied.
Yeah.
This is not, Plato's thought of the disembodied spirit ideal of heaven is completely unbiblical. What we want is life in bodies and life on earth, and that's what God made us for. And so to us, Nancy and I talked about it all the time. Nancy had what she called her new earth bucket list. We didn't have to have a bucket list for this life. You know, if you have a bucket list, I'm not saying it's morally wrong to have a bucket list, but I'm just saying, I get it. You want to do certain things before you die. But the assumption with most people, I think, is that this life is the only one where we'll be able to experience excitement and go visit someplace and have this adventure and climb a mountain and canoe a river or whatever it is. No. We think sometimes, well, you only go around once on earth, and so, grab for the gusto, make the most of it. Actually, according to the Bible, God's people go around twice on earth, and the second time is on a redeemed earth, and it will last forever. So, hey, she'd talk about her new earth bucket list. I want to do this, I want to do this. I've just asked the Lord, and of course, it's totally up to him. He's God, I'm not, but she said, I would love to live with water where I can see whales and dolphins and sea turtles and fish and all that, but I also want to live with 100 dogs. And I would not be surprised at all. Parents love kids, right? And so if there was no downside for you to have 100 dogs, I understand there is a downside to that in this world. But and you had infinite resources available to you and you thought it would bring delight. Do you think you would provide some animals for your child to enjoy? I mean, God wants us to be happy. And if you've ever heard the myth, God doesn't care about your happiness, he only cares about your holiness. No, he cares about both. It's just he doesn't want us to try to be happy in sin, which will never work anyway.
Right.
He wants us to be happy in him.